I want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. I know some of you from other countries, you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I do look at the analytics, guys, of the channel. There's people from New Zealand watch the channel, Australia, Ireland, Great Britain, Canada. I think Serbia. Most people are from the United States that watch this channel. But I want to wish I still have a little bit of my cold. It's going away real slow, guys. Now my wife's starting to lose her voice a little bit. She's going through the same symptoms I had. So, man, look at the muscles. Not bad for 63 years old, huh? So, yeah, I want to wish everyone happy holidays, whatever kind of holiday you celebrate. And I think we're going on about 30. Listen to what I say. We're going on, me and my wife are going on 30 years. My only sibling hasn't asked me to come over for Thanksgiving. You know, there was a time when I wanted love from her. I don't no longer want love from her. I'm not going to burden my only sister for that. What I want is to be treated like a human being. Hold on, I got to sneeze, guys. Okay, I sneezed. That's what I want, to be treated like a goddamn human being, treated like a brother. But I don't think the relationship is fixable. I really don't. When you do this to somebody for this long a time, it's no longer fixable. You know, there's too many years have gone by. If I was to sit down at a Thanksgiving table across from her, and I look up at her and I look at her, and I'm thinking to myself, what happened to the other years when you ignored us from existence? You know, it doesn't take much for her and her husband to sit down and say, hey, let's invite my brother over for Thanksgiving this year. Everyone we have over, we're going to tell them to try to get along with him. And then she'd call up, she doesn't call me up. She communicates me through Marco Polo videos. She'll video me, say, hey, I'd like you and your wife, I'd like you and Amy to come over for Thanksgiving. I sat down with John, we talked about it. Everyone's going to welcome you for Thanksgiving. There's not going to be any problems. That's all she got to do. But that doesn't happen, guys. That don't happen. You know what it's all over, guys? This house here. That's what it's all over. She thinks the house went to me when my parents died. What she wanted was, when my parents died, since she thought she was the eldest, she thought the house should automatically, by default, go to her. Those laws don't exist in Pennsylvania no more. They used to way back in the Magna Carta days. They don't exist anymore. First of all, this house was under my mother. When my father died, my mother and myself had this house in our names. Okay, I was co-owner. I wasn't part owner. When you own a piece of property with somebody, you don't own half of the property. You are co-owner. So if that person dies, you are now the only owner left, and that's what I was. She didn't know that. Hold on again, I got to sneeze. You know, so that's what this is all over. You know, she married a man that had a real good job, moved into his house with him. So now you want to take my house from me, put me and my wife out on the street, cash in from the house, have a nice sizable chunk of change in the bank. So, we're on talking terms right now, guys, but I don't appreciate a lot of this crap. The relationship is not repairable no more. I just you have to not care anymore, and I just don't care no more. I don't want her love no more. I want to be treated like a goddamn human being. People that don't treat me fairly get away from me. People that don't treat me like a human being, I'd advise you to steer clear of me. And I just don't give a crap no more. I don't care. Her children, they couldn't care if I was dead or alive. And you know what? Likewise. Feelings likewise. So we're going on 30, it's probably over 30 years. I haven't been asked by letter, by email, by IM, through YouTube, through Facebook, through nothing. I'm not even a Facebook friend with my only sister. I haven't been asked on any format whatsoever. Not even a freaking carrier pigeon dropping off a note on my lawn out front. Hey, would you like to come over for Thanksgiving dinner? Would you and Amy want to come over for Thanksgiving? Would you and your wife want to come over for Thanksgiving dinner? None of that. So, that's what I say. I want to show you guys my new receiver's gloves I got, guys. These are receiver gloves. Every time, whenever you see those football players catching the ball, making them fantastic catches with like one hand, they jump up in the air, grab the ball. They're doing all them crazy catches, like they look like they're super athletes. These are what they have on. Not this exact make, but this is what they have on. It's real tacky. I wore these with my Hayabusa. I'm going to wear these with the Harley and the Ebike. And what these do is these reduce your effort to grip. So basically, instead of having to go like this, all you got to do is go like that. This is what the football receivers players have on. What they do is they have the expensive kind. These were only $14 a pair, but they most of them have the ones that are like $100 and some bucks a pair. So 4 months from now, we'll give these a try. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show the e-bikers how I put that mirror on the left-hand side. When Eahora sent me my spare throttle, they also sent me a left and a right. Well, the right's the grip. See, they sent me a new throttle and a new left-hand side. You know, I believe you could probably put the throttle on the left-hand side if you wanted to. So, all right, we're going to have to take that off. That requires an Allen screw. I'm not going to drill the end of this out. I just want to show you what's behind that, what's behind this end plug. All right, so let's see. The end plug is 4 millimeter. It requires a 4 millimeter Allen head. You know what? I think, yeah, there's a bolt inside there too, guys. Or I'm not. I'm gonna have to get my a socket for inside here too. All right, we got our right socket. This is what you have to do. Tell you the truth, there's not even a size on these sockets here. This is when the scratchiness starts. That's how I know it's COVID. All right. So, okay. That comes off. That end cap comes off. Now what you're going to do with a stepper bit, this is plastic right here. With a stepper bit, this has to be drilled out. This piece of plastic ought to be completely drilled out. Which I'm not going to drill it out. Because the one on the e-bike's already drilled out. So let's get the mirror. My mirror came in. The one I broke the other day, I got that in. Oh, they even come with, give you a little. So what you do is you drill it out basically the size of this. You know, then there's a little, another Allen head screw in there. And as you tighten it, this expands. This piece here, it'll go back, and these things here are rubber. What they'll do is, when it goes back, it'll expand them, and it locks it in place. So your hole can't be bigger than this guy. This is probably a 1/2 inch. I mean, you may not even need a stepper bit. You might be able to do this with like a 1/2 inch drill bit. But just make sure what size this is. It looks like it's a 1/2 inch to me. I might be wrong. But that's what's involved. That's what you have to do. So in other words, then what you got to do is once you take that end cap off, that piece of plastic that's on the end there, that has to be drilled out about the same size as the diameter of this. Here, I'll show you the way this expands. Here, let's get this thing on here. Time to bend and stretch and reach for the stars. Nothing comes easy, guys. Nothing. All right. Now watch how that starts expanding. That's how it starts expanding. So see these little O-rings in here, that's what keeps the thing together. But that's what I would do. I would drill that hole. It looks like it's about a half inch. That's what I would do. I would drill that open about a half inch. You know, one thing I thought of when I was at work last night. I was talking about the manufacturing is never going to come back to the United States. Isn't mostly everything robotized now? So what jobs are going to be created? Even if manufacturing comes back, everything's robotic. You know, man, I tell you guys, man, you got to think a little bit, brother. You got to understand, man, that they don't care about you. You know, them days of creating jobs and people and politicians caring about people are gone. You see, the president, and I'll tell you what the president of the United States should do if they want to make America great again. I'll tell you exactly what needs to happen. They need to de-robotize assembly lines and put the person back on the assembly line that's assembling stuff by hand. You know, this all started in Detroit with the robots. I remember when it started. It started in the late 70s. That's when the robots took over. Because the Auto Workers Union, they wanted a lot of money back then. And the auto manufacturers, they just couldn't pay it anymore. So they put robots on the assembly line. And little by little, they started putting more and more and more and more. Now it's almost completely robotized. You know, before they would have robots just putting the body on the car, and they would still have the man painting the car by hand with the hand sprayer. Okay, then they eliminated him, and they put the robot painting the car. You know, but they still had the people assembling the engine. Now they have the robot putting the body on the car, painting the car, and assembling the engine. There's almost nothing left for a person to do. That is what the President of the United States should do. If you want to make America great again, you take all the robots and all that automated robotic crap off the assembly line, and you put a human being in place of it to do that stuff by hand. Then you bring the jobs back. And then people will make good money. You think that's going to happen? I'll tell you what, if that happens, you know what I'll do? I'll go to Las Vegas. Hold on a second, guys. If that happens during Trump's administration, I will go to Las Vegas and I will jump off that building up in Las Vegas that has that, I think that's called the stratosphere jump. I'll jump off that. You know, with naturally with the bungee cords attached to myself. But I'll do that. If Trump does that, I'll jump off the stratosphere. And I have a fear of heights. That's going to be extremely difficult for me to do. All right, guys, as you see, we got that back on. Now, the one thing I did find out, the inside of your handlebar is the same diameter of the insert of the mirror. But the plastic on the end of your grip, you're going to still have to drill it off. So if you make the hole larger on your grip, don't worry, because the mirror actually grips into the inside of your handlebar and not this. I thought it gripped into the inside of this, but I was wrong. I thought it gripped into the inside of your grip, but it actually, the mirror is actually gripping on to the inside of the metal of the handlebar. So if you make the opening on your grip a little larger, Don't worry about it. I also got my Baclava hood came in too. Because when I take the car the next week, probably around Friday of next week, that's my pay period. I have to take my car down to get it inspected, and lucky me, it's going to be in the low 20s. So that means on the bike, on the e-bike, it's going to probably be maybe a wind chill of maybe 5 degrees above zero, maybe 10 degrees above zero. So that's why I had to buy a Baclava hood, and I'll put my full face hood on under that, and I'll have the Baclava hood over that. I have Arctic gloves. I'm not going to wear those. I'm not going to wear these in winter, guys. I bought when I first had my Alaskan Husky Max. I used to walk him in all weather. And I bought Arctic gear. I have a pair of gloves, they're snowmobile gloves. And they're the best things I've ever had for cold weather. When I put those bad boys on, man, I don't feel any cold weather on my hands. So I'll wear those. And another thing you want to do when you're riding a motorcycle or a bicycle I don't have them. I have them in my other room here. What you want to do to your pants legs, if you want to put some kind of a Velcro strap or even a rubber band will work around the bottoms of your pants legs so then air doesn't get up underneath them. That's another thing you want to do too. I have a pair of welding chaps I can put on, and I have these Velcro straps. They're about that wide. They're about 4 inches wide and so long, and I wrap those around the bottoms of my pants legs, and that closes the pants legs up so no air gets up underneath them. That's what you got to do too. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off here, and we're going to start cooking a little bit. We have we bought a turkey. It's mixed with duck and crawfish. That's in the oven. I think that's been in the oven for about 45 minutes now. It has about another 2 hours to go. And then I'm making mashed potatoes, a gravy, and a stuffing. And it's going to just be me and my wife. Because nobody else wants us over. Nobody. Absolutely nobody wants us over. Nobody wants our company. Isn't that something? And you know what? It used to bother me quite severely. Years ago, maybe like 10 years ago, it used to really get me down. I used to really get down depressed. I'd be sobbing like a little baby. And I made a choice. You either go down with the ship or you come back up. And I made the choice to come back up. And I just don't let those rotten, evil people bother me no more. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there is an afterlife, okay? I'm 100 million% sure of it. And there is a God. And when we go on the other side, and when we're standing before a man, everything is going to be resolved. That's every single thing is going to be resolved. And I believe if you're wrong, you get sent back to earth to start another life. And if you're right, and if you help people, and if you did good, you move on to whatever your spirit turns into. You know, I always said to myself, maybe I should start being an SOB and start being a rotten person, because it seems like when you're rotten, you advance in life. But when you're good, God takes you because he wants you up in heaven. Maybe I should start being a rotten SOB, start sticking it to people, start stealing off people. It seems like that's the only way you succeed in this country.